Hey guys, welcome back to the RSR Job Seeker Hub channel. In this video, I will explain all you need to know about the H2B visa. In another video, I will explain how you can go on the H2B program for free. If you think I am going too fast, you can always slow down the video so that you can get a better understanding, or feel free to send me an email in the description below with any questions. What is the H2B visa? The H2B visa is one of the U.S. work visas that allows foreign individuals to temporarily work in the United States. This visa is only for non-agricultural workers. The H2B visa is intended for seasonal, one-time, intermittent, or peak load labor. H2B visas are issued by the United States government to workers in the following industries: hospitality, cruise ships, construction, resort and theme parks, golf courses, water parks, landscaping, ski resorts, maintenance and janitorial, warehouses, retail stores, restaurants and bars, sports and athletics. These industries are occasionally in high demand, necessitating a huge staff to match such brisk demand. In order to apply, both the U.S. company and the foreign employee must meet specific standards. What are the eligibility criteria for employers? Your employer must meet certain conditions in order to be eligible for an H2B visa. To begin, your employer, also known as the petitioner in this process, must demonstrate the following: that there is a shortage of U.S.-based staff that are qualified, willing, and able to do the work temporarily. That employing you will not negatively affect the employment benefits of other U.S.-based staff in their establishment. That they have a business physically based in the U.S. That they have a valid federal employer identification number, FIN. That your employer's need for you is only temporary. If your job is a one-time occurrence, seasonal demand, peak load need, or intermittent need, it is termed transitory. Your employer must demonstrate an on-time occurrence by demonstrating that they have a permanent employment opportunity but needs a temporary worker due to an event of short duration. Not employed anyone to perform the task before and will not need anyone else to do so in the future. If your employer is claiming a seasonal need, they must show that the job you're coming to do is tied to a particular time of the year, is a recurring role. If your employer is claiming peak load need, they have to show that they employ permanent workers in their establishment, need to supplement staffing needs due to excess demands, don't intend to make you a permanent staff member. If your employer is claiming intermittent need, they must show that they sometimes need temporary workers to perform some roles for a short time, have not employed someone else permanently to do the work for which they are about to hire you. What are the eligibility criteria for employees? To be eligible for the H2B visa, you must show that you have an employment offer from a U.S. employer. You intend to return home after your permit expires. You have the skills your U.S. employer needs. You are from an eligible country. Countries eligible for the H2B visa. Application process. The employer is responsible for the majority of the effort involved in filing for an H2B visa. Filing ETA Form 9142B, Application for Temporary Labor Certification. The initial stage in this process is for your employer to file for temporary labor certification, often known as ETA Form 9142B. This petition is being submitted to the Department of Labor. The petitioner files this to prove to the Department of Labor: 1. That there is a shortage of U.S.-based staff that are qualified, willing and able to do the work temporarily. 1. This is usually done by showing the Department of Labor that an advert for the job has been made on the local job listing for 3 weeks, and no one has indicated interest or is qualified for the role yet. 2. That employing you will not negatively affect the employment benefits of other U.S.-based staff in their establishment. To file ETA Form 9142B, your employer or petitioner has to take the following steps. 1. Register with the Department of Labor between 150,000 120 days before they need you. 2. File Form ETA 9141, Application for Prevailing Wage Determination, PWD, at least 60 days before it is needed at a National Prevailing Wage Center, NPWC. 2. This is filed electronically using the iCert system or by mail to the Washington, D.C. National Prevailing Wage Center. 3. File a job order with the State Workforce Agency, SWA, in charge of the area where the foreign employee would work. 4. Submit the H2B application with necessary supporting documents and a copy of the job order to the Chicago National Processing Center between 90-75 days before the employee's start date. For electronic filing of H2B applications, the U.S. government provided a system known as the FLAG system. Form 9142B, the prevailing wage determination case tracking number, a copy of the job order, necessary appendices, and other supporting papers must be included in the application package. If the employer or petitioner does not have access to the flag system, they can mail their application and explain why they are unable to utilize it. The mail must be mailed to the NPC address in Chicago. After submission, the petition will be reviewed by the Department of Labor within 7 business days. The certification officer will either reject, shorten, or approve the petition. If ETA Form 9142B, Application for Temporary Employment Certification, is approved, the employer must now file Form I-129, Petition for Non-Immigrant Worker, with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS. Filing Form I-129, Petition for a Non-Immigrant Worker. Overview. After ETA 9142B is approved, your employer must file Form I-129 on your behalf. The service center closest to your employer's primary address determines where your employer will file Form I-129. The service center could be in Vermont, Nebraska, Texas, or California. If your employer or petitioner requires you to be present immediately, they must additionally file Form I-907, Application for Premium Processing, together with Form I-129. The application must be submitted 45 to 180 days before the employee is required by the employer. Furthermore, each employee's application is created independently, and they are not transferable. So, if the petitioner wishes to hire 5 foreigners, they must petition the USCIS separately for each foreigner. Form I-129 will cost your employer $460 USD to file. Payment may be made by check, money order, credit card, or cashier's check. This filing fee is non-refundable regardless of the application's outcome. Documents needed to file Form I-129. For USCIS to consider Form I-129, it must come with the evidence of having paid the filing fee and then the following documents. 1. H classification supplement to Form I-129. 2. Proof that beneficiary, employee, meets the minimum job requirements. 3. Approved ETA Form 9142B. 4. Proof that the beneficiary is needed in the U.S. if they are not from eligible countries. After the Form I-129 petition for non-immigrant worker is accepted, the USCIS will issue the employer Form I-797. This form contains the hiring window for which the company is looking. This document also informs the employer of the termination date. The petitioner must rigorously adhere to these deadlines or else future applications would be refused. Application process for employee. After the USCIS has approved Form I-129, you can apply for the H2B visa at the U.S. consulate in your home country. The first step is to electronically submit Form DS-160 and print the receipt. The DS-160 form is filed with the DS-156 and DS-157 forms. The latter is only submitted by male applicants aged 16 to 45. You fill out these forms with personal and family information, work, school and training information, and security-related information. Because you only have 30 days to complete these forms, you must have the following items on hand when applying. Passport photo must be less than 240 kilobytes and taken within the last 180 days. Passport must be valid. Itinerary for the trip. Information on your travels over the last 5 years. Information about your career or educational background. When you finish the form, you will be routed to a page where you must electronically sign and submit it. After that, print the confirmation page since it will enable you in trance when you go to the U.S. Embassy for your interview. The U.S. Embassy will inform you when to come for your interview. While going, you must take the following documents with you. 1. Print out of the DS-160 confirmation page. 2. Form DS-156 and DS-157. 3. Receipt of visa fee payment. 3. H2B non-immigrant visa costs $190 USD. 4. Passport photograph. 5. Employment offer from a U.S. employer. 6. Copies of approved Form I-129 and Form I-797. 7. Evidence you will return home after your job in the U.S. You can plan your trip to the United States if your interview is successful. Do note that you must travel to the U.S. within the dates approved on Form I-797. Reasons why an H2B visa application could be denied. There are various reasons why an H2B visa application will be denied by the U.S. consulate. One of the key reasons was that there were enough qualified and willing Americans to undertake the job. Your visa application may also be denied if the consulate determines that your employer did not make sufficient efforts to hire Americans. Inappropriate or late documentation can also lead to visa refusal. As a result, all paperwork must be filed correctly and on time. Applications may also be denied if the Department of Labor believes that hiring a foreigner will have an impact on the earnings of U.S. employees already working for the petitioner. Again, if a petitioner has broken the rules of the non-immigrant visa before, the chances of visa denial are high. Even if everything checks out on the petitioner's end, the U.S. consulate officer may decline your application if they are unable to determine whether you would return home after your job in the U.S. Processing times. Because the H2B visa is a capped authorization, there are no specified processing times. Approval can take anywhere from 5 months to years on average, because applications submitted before yours must be processed first. Your employer can pay $2,500 USD for rapid service if they want it faster. Because of the numerous documents that must be completed, applying for an H2B visa might be difficult. For both companies and employees, this can be discouraging. However, with the right advice, you can build a rapid and powerful application. We can also help if you need to apply for another similar type of visa based on your circumstances, such as a U.S. visitor's visa or any other visa on the basis of your situation. For more information about the services we provide and how we can help you, reach out to us via email at bridgeerrands2023@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video.